What if I told you the future of electric vehicles isn't $50,000 Teslas, but a sleek, smart EV that costs less than your phone? Meet the BYD Seagull, the $4,999 mini car that's flipping the entire EV industry on its head. Just announced by BYD CEO, this isn't a stripping-down toy. It's a fully loaded, city-ready EV with real range, real features, and zero compromises. From its surprising design to global ambitions, this little giant is making automakers everywhere nervous. Stick around because what BYD just launched isn't a car. It's a challenge to the whole industry. She read about BYD's Seagull Honor Edition. $5,000? She blinked. That can't be right. But it was. In early 2024, Chinese automaker BYD stunned the world by launching a fully electric vehicle for just $4,999. The Seagull Honor Edition, a sleek, compact 5-door hatchback, wasn't a strip-on-down shell. It had aerodynamic curves, LED light bars, a 10.1 rotating screen, digital gauges, and soft-touch finishes. A budget EV that didn't feel cheap. Let's be honest. A 5K car usually means crank windows and plastic everything, but BYD flipped that script. A car that cheap used to mean cutting corners, one analyst noted. BYD's proving that's no longer true. Powered by BYD's Blade battery, the same ultra-safe LFP tech used in their higher-end models, the Seagull offers up to 252 miles of range, fast charging, and top speeds of 130 km/h. Perfect for city life and suburbs alike. While a Tesla Model 3 still costs around $38,000, BYD's 5K Seagull hits hard. And this isn't just hype, it's a serious strategy. In China, BYD got over 10,000 orders the day it launched. Within 7 months, over 200,000 units rolled off the line. How is this even possible? It comes down to scale. BYD makes its own batteries, chips, motors, even mines its own lithium. Owning the supply chain lets them crush costs without killing quality. This isn't just a win for BYD, it's a warning shot to the global auto industry. For people like Eleanor and millions around the world, the Seagull isn't just an affordable EV, it's a revolution. You don't need $50K to go electric anymore, Eleanor said, smiling as she buckled in. The future finally feels reachable. How BYD quietly overtook Tesla from underdog to global powerhouse in just 6 years back in 2018, the EV spotlight belonged to Tesla. Elon Musk was launching cars into space, talking autopilot, and fueling dreams of an electric future. Tesla sold nearly 250,000 vehicles that year. BYD, just 100,000, most of them hybrids. But fast forward to 2024 and the tables have turned. BYD now sells more EVs than Tesla, over 1.7 million in a single year. While Tesla made noise, BYD made cars, quietly, consistently, strategically. While a Tesla was dreaming, said one industry insider, BYD was building. That build-out came from a bold choice, vertical integration. Instead of outsourcing, BYD made its own batteries, chips, motors, even semiconductors. This kept costs low, avoided supply chain issues, and let them scale fast. Their breakthrough? The Blade battery, a safer, cheaper lithium iron phosphate or LFP unit that doesn't catch fire and fits more efficiently in cars. Tesla flirted with LFP, BYD perfected it. But it wasn't just technology, it was timing. From 2020 to 23, demand for affordable EVs exploded. While Western brands chased luxury buyers, BYD flooded global markets with practical models like the Dolphin, UN+, and now the $4,999 Seagull. They didn't stop at cars. BYD expanded to over 60 countries, supplying buses, taxis, and fleet vehicles to Latin America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Africa. In Brazil, they're building a massive EV plant. In Thailand, they've overtaken Japanese brands in market share. In the UK, their electric buses run city routes. Meanwhile, Tesla's promised 25K model still hasn't shown up. This race isn't about flash anymore. It's about who can build EVs that people can actually afford. And right now, that's BYD. Tesla brought EVs to the mainstream, said one analyst. But BYD is making them truly mainstream. And they're not stopping. From the ultra-affordable Seagull to the $233,000 Yangwang U9 supercar, BYD is taking on every segment, top to bottom. Behind it all is a man unlike Elon Musk. Less noise, more action. The next chapter belongs to Wang Chuanfu, the quietly brilliant founder who turned a battery startup into a global EV empire. Meet the genius behind BYD, Wang Chuanfu, the orphan who built China's biggest EV empire. In a quiet office in Shenzhen, surrounded by prototypes and battery diagrams, sits the man who changed the EV game. Not with flair, but focus. His name is Wang Chuanfu, and if you haven't heard of him yet, you will. Born in 1966 in rural China and orphaned as a child, Wang was raised by older siblings. He had little, but he dreamed big. After studying chemistry and engineering, he earned a master's degree in battery tech, laying the foundation for what would become one of the world's most disruptive companies. In '95, Wang founded BYD, Build Your Dreams, originally to make rechargeable batteries for phones. But he had bigger plans. He saw the shift coming: electrification, automation, mobility. In the 2000s, BYD acquired a struggling automaker and began reverse engineering cars, piece by piece. Wang often worked overnight, redesigning things himself. Wang doesn't just dream like Musk, said Charlie Munger. He delivers. Munger, the late billionaire and Buffett's right-hand man, was so impressed that he convinced Warren Buffett to invest $230 million in BYD back in 2008. That bet is now worth billions. Wang's edge? He believed EVs shouldn't be toys for the rich. To change the world, they had to be affordable. That meant radical decisions: owning the full supply chain, cutting cobalt for ethical reasons, building fast, and designing cars that beat the West on value. He's still hands-on today. No TED Talks, no media tours, just relentless focus. Wang built BYD into the world's most vertically integrated, fast-moving EV company, while others chased headlines. Strategy isn't about flash, Wang once said. It's about solving the right problems for the most people. From orphan to auto titan, Wang Chuanfu is the silent force behind BYD's global rise. And while BYD's strategy wins attention, what's really shocking people isn't just the price of the Seagull, it's how good it actually feels to drive. Let's take a closer look inside. Seagull EV's hidden luxury touches. Why this $49.99 city car feels like a mini Lamborghini. Walter had always been a car guy. His garage had hosted everything from a '67 Mustang to a pre-owned Lexus. But now in his late 70s, he wanted something smaller, simpler, and electric. Still, comfort mattered. So when his granddaughter told him about a tiny EV from China that feels like a luxury car, he was skeptical. Until he sat inside the BYD Seagull Honor Edition and smiled. "This thing's nice," he said, running his hand along the dash. "Real nice." Here's the twist. The Seagull, a car that costs less than most refrigerators, doesn't feel budget at all. Wake-a-muffin, because it was styled by Wolfgang Egger, the same designer who worked on Lamborghinis and Audis. The sleek LED lights, aggressive nose, and sporty roofline give it a surprisingly upscale look. Inside, it gets even better. Step into the cabin and you're met with a clean two-tone interior. A 10.1-inch rotating screen sits front and center. It runs BYD's fast, responsive Dialink OS with navigation, voice control, and streaming apps. A mini Lambo on a scooter budget, one reviewer said. And they weren't exaggerating. The details impressed too. A digital driver display, app-based controls, and clever use of textures make the cabin feel far more expensive than it is. It's minimalist, but not basic. Simple, not stripped. Walter noticed it too. The seats feel good. The armrests soft. It doesn't feel cramped. It feels clever. That was intentional. BYD wanted to kill the idea that cheap means low quality. They focused on first impressions, knowing buyers, especially older ones, care about comfort and ease. And for a car under $5K, It's surprisingly quiet. Thanks to a rigid body structure and smart insulation, the cabin feels solid. BYD used high-strength steel in the frame, which helps both safety and road stability. The infotainment? Easily on par with cars 5 times the price. The build? Durable, clean, modern. It doesn't feel like settling, Walter said. It feels like someone finally built a smart car for regular people. But the Seagull's real-world charm goes beyond what you see inside. Because while it might look compact, this little EV holds its own outside the city too. Let's dive into what makes it so capable for everyday travel, from tight downtown streets to suburban lanes. Built for the city and beyond. Why the Seagull isn't just a city car, it's a daily workhorse. Margaret lives in the heart of Guadalajara. Her days are packed. Morning markets, her son's school, and errands for her mother. In a city that never slows down, she needed something agile, reliable, and electric. When the BYD Seagull launched in Latin America, it felt like it was made for her. "I didn't think a car this affordable could keep up," she said, but it does. The Seagull isn't just built for price, it's built for purpose. It comes in 3 editions: Vitality, Freedom, and Flying, offering ranges from 190 to 405 kilometers. Even the base model gives urban drivers enough charge for several days worth of errands or commuting. In a rush, it fast charges from 30% to 80% in about 30 minutes, just enough time for a quick coffee break. It suits daily commutes, short trips, or urban zipping, said one mobility expert. Top speed, 130 km/h, about 80 mph. Not a race car, but perfect for city highways or country roads. Where it shines most is in tight cities. It's compact, nimble, easy to park, and light on its wheels. Unlike some small EVs, it doesn't feel like a toy. Compared to models like the Wuling Mini EV, the Seagull gives you better performance, more space, and a smoother drive. Margaret noticed it in her electric bill too. Overnight charging costs less than $2 USD, and she never had to stop for gas. "It's freedom," she said, "and in a city like this, that's everything." The Seagull isn't trying to compete with Tesla, it's trying to be your everyday car. Smart, efficient, and affordable. And it absolutely delivers. Next, let's look at how BYD pulled off a design that feels anything but cheap, proving good looks don't have to come with a luxury price tag. Why the Seagull design is a game changer. Smart styling that's rewriting the rules for budget cars. Stanley always thought good design was for expensive things. As a retired architect, he had an eye for balance and proportion. So when he saw the BYD Seagull, he paused. "That's a good-looking little machine," he said, and it is. BYD didn't just slap this together to meet a price. They crafted it. Start with the 5-door hatchback layout. Most cars in this range are 3 doors. Tight rear seats, hard-to-reach cargo, and awkward design. Not the Seagull. It's full-sized where it matters, with room for groceries, child seats, or a weekend getaway bag. Then there's the wheelbase, using 66% of the car's length for the wheels. That means more space in them, better stability, and a balanced planted look. At under 1,500 kilograms, it's also light, which boosts efficiency, extends range, and makes it more fun to drive. The shape, sharp but smooth. A sloped roofline, flush door handles, and sleek side creases don't just look good, they reduce drag and help range. The LED tail lights stretch across the back, giving it a wider stance and boosting visibility at night. It's not just a car, Stanley said. It's clever design on a budget. Inside, it's equally intentional. The touchscreen rotates. Buttons are minimal. Visibility is excellent. BYD even thought about ease of use, low-effort handles, accessible charging ports, and an upright seat position make it friendly for older drivers. The Seagull's design proves that great styling doesn't need to cost a fortune. It's clean, ergonomic, and smart. No fluff, just form and function. But looks are only one part of the story. Up next, the surprising safety features packed into this 5K EV, and why they're making people think twice about what budget really means. safety features that break stereotypes. Yes, a $4,999 car can be safe, and BYD proves it. Margaret's daughter had her doubts. "Mom, it's so small," she said, eyeing the BYD Seagull, "and it's only $5,000. How safe can it really be?" It's a fair question. For years, cheap often meant unsafe. Budget cars cut corners, missing airbags, basic braking systems, and crash protection. But the Seagull flips that idea on its head. Let's start with the facts. The Seagull includes 6 airbags in front, side, and curtain. Many EVs in this price range offer just 2. It also comes standard with rear disc brakes, electronic stability control, traction control, and even an electronic parking brake. Cheap no longer means unsafe, one analyst said. BYD rewrote that rule. But safety is more than just features. The Seagull's body is built with 61% high-strength steel. It has reinforced crumple zones and solid AOEs and B-pillars, designed to absorb crash forces and protect passengers. Structural safety once reserved for higher-end vehicles. Crash testing under China's GB safety standards shows the Seagull holds up well in frontal and side impacts. While Euro NCAP or IAWHS scores are still to come, early data from simulations and third-party tests show a strong performance. Walter, who recently test drove one, noticed something telling. "The doors close with a real thunk," he said. "Seatbelts retract cleanly. Mirrors stay stable at highway speed. It feels solid." That feeling is no accident. BYD applies the same safety principles across its lineup, even to entry-level cars. By producing most components in-house, including software for stability systems, they control quality and consistency at every step. For drivers like Margaret, safety matters as much as savings. "I love the price," she said, "but I chose it because I feel safe inside." Now that concerns about safety are put to rest. The next big question is, are people actually buying this thing? Turns out the Seagull is flying off lots faster than anyone expected. Let's dive into the demand and why BYD may have just cracked the global EV market wide open. Sales success that no one saw coming. How the BYD Seagull became the most wanted budget EV on the planet. When the BYD Seagull Honor Edition launched in early 2024, few expected what came next. Over 10,000 orders rolled in within the first 24 hours. In just 7 months, BYD built and sold over 200,000 units. The Seagull wasn't just popular, it became a phenomenon. So what made a tiny fourth and Mai such a runaway hit? Simple: timing, trust, and smart tech. Across the globe, many families and first-time buyers had been priced out of the EV revolution. The average US electric car cost over $50,000 in 2023. Europe wasn't much better. The Seagull flipped the script. It offered clean, safe, and stylish driving at a fraction of the cost, with no real compromises. In China, it overtook competitors like the Wuling Mini EV, not just on price, but quality. In India, Mexico, and Brazil, it quickly found fans for being both practical and aspirational. "This isn't hype," one journalist said. "It's hard numbers." BYD even cut prices further by mid-2024 thanks to supply chain efficiency. Regional variants like Brazil's Dolphin Mini helped expand appeal with local tweaks like stronger suspension and bilingual systems. It's not just personal drivers either. Fleets, taxis, and delivery services love the Seagull. It's cheap to run, easy to charge, and perfect for dense cities. The buyers? Retirees downsizing, first-time owners in emerging markets, students avoiding car loans, commuters fed up with gas, and BYD's expansion is just getting started. "The Seagull isn't a trend," said one exec. "It's a turning point." But while everyday drivers are celebrating, automakers across Detroit, Munich, and Silicon Valley are sounding alarms. The Seagull didn't just enter the market, it cracked it wide open. Let's explore why this budget EV is triggering panic in boardrooms worldwide. Why global automakers are nervous. How one budget EV is forcing a rethink of the global auto industry. When Ford CEO Jim Farley warned that Chinese EVs could wipe out 30% of global auto revenues, he wasn't exaggerating. He was talking about cars like the BYD Seagull. This $4,990 EV has disrupted a fundamental industry belief that quality must come at a high price. BYD broke that rule. With full control over its supply chain, from batteries to software, it delivers low cost without cutting corners. BYD's low price tag isn't a feature, said one op-ed. It's a weapon. Legacy automakers are struggling to respond. Most of their EV strategies are built around expensive models. Tesla's promised $25K car, still in development, and even that would cost 3-5x more than the Seagull. In Europe, automakers are lobbying for tariffs on Chinese EVs, hoping to slow the tide. In the US, lawmakers face a dilemma: protect local companies or support affordable electrification? But pricing isn't the only threat. It's BYD's speed. While other automakers debate and delay, BYD acts. They build their own factories, write their own software, and bring vehicles to market in record time. Their efficiency has shifted expectations everywhere. Customers now ask, why pay more when a $5,000 EV does the job? And BYD isn't stopping at the low end. Their luxury line, including the Sea Lion SUV and Yangwang U9 supercar, is aimed at brands like Porsche and Tesla. No one else is attacking both ends of the market so aggressively. Can anyone catch up? That's the trillion-dollar question. Some say BYD will hit a ceiling. Others think legacy players will adapt. But right now, BYD is setting the pace. They're not chasing trends, one consultant said. They're setting them. Next, we'll look at how BYD is scaling up, from scooters to supercars, and what that means for the future of global mobility. Not just budget, BYD's luxury lineup. How the maker of a $5,000 EV is now challenging Tesla and Porsche. When you think luxury EV, names like Tesla, Lucid, or Porsche probably come to mind. But in 2025, there's a new contender making waves: BYD. The same company behind the $4,090 Seagull is now rolling out high-end supercars and SUVs that are shaking up the top tier of the market. Take the Yangwang U9. This $233,000 electric supercar packs 4 motors and over 1,300 horsepower, going 60 mph in under 2 seconds. That's Bugatti territory. But the real showstopper? It's Disu's X suspension system that literally lets the car hop off the ground. Yes, jump. From bargain to baller, BYD's got it covered, joked a journalist at the Geneva Auto Show. Inside the U9 feels like a spaceship. OLED screens, real leather, facial recognition, and in-house AI driving systems. Then there's the Sea Lion 07 and Song L, sleek, tech-packed SUVs that rival Tesla's Model Y and X, but at a lower price point. LiDAR suspension, voice command everything, over 500-kilometer range. And in a blind test, German auto critics ranked the Song L's build quality higher than a BMW iX3. But here's the genius move. BYD doesn't silo luxury tech. It trickles down. Even the Seagull benefits from design cues and tech architecture borrowed from these high-end models. That strategy, luxury for the masses, is catching on fast. From the Denza D9 minivan for execs to the Frigate 07 SUV outselling Tesla in Asia, BYD is storming every segment. They aren't just chasing competition, they're redefining it. And what ties this all together? The same battery tech powering both the 5K Seagull and the 200K U9. Up next, we'll break down the Blade battery and why it's BYD's ultimate power move. Blade battery, the heart of BYD's tech. The quiet power behind BYD's EV revolution. At the core of every BYD vehicle, from the $5,000 Seagull to the $233,000 U9 supercar, is the Blade battery. More than just a power source, it's BYD's secret weapon in the EV arms race. Traditional lithium-ion batteries have their flaws. They're dense, volatile, and dependent on rare materials like cobalt. BYD reimagined this. The Blade battery uses lithium iron phosphate, LFP, but with a radical redesign. Instead of bulky stacked cells, BYD stretches them out like blades, long, thin, and tightly packed. This increases space efficiency by 50%, allowing more power in a smaller footprint. That's how a tiny Seagull offers over 400 kilometers of range. But the real win? Safety. In nail penetration tests designed to simulate internal battery damage, most packs catch fire. The Blade battery doesn't even smoke. It's crush-resistant, fireproof, and heat-tolerant. Videos of BYD trucks driving over these packs with zero damage have become viral proof. It's also cobalt-free, bypassing ethical concerns tied to mining in places like the DRC. And it lasts. While typical EV batteries begin to degrade after 150,000 miles, the Blade battery is rated for over 500,000 kilometers, more than 300,000 miles. BYD isn't keeping this tech to themselves. They've started supplying Blade batteries to other automakers, including Toyota. There are even whispers that Tesla's China-based models may soon include them too. This battery is why BYD isn't just an automaker anymore. They're a global energy player, quietly powering everything from hatchbacks to hypercars. And now they're scaling something even bigger: electric buses. Up next, we dive into how BYD's EV fleet is cleaning city air and revolutionizing public transport across the globe. Going global and green with buses. 2. How BYD is electrifying cities, one bus at a time. While most of the world fixates on electric cars and flashy SUVs, BYD has been quietly focusing on something bigger: electric buses. And not just a few. BYD is the world's largest electric bus maker, with over 70,000 e-buses in service across more than 70 countries. From London to Los Angeles, these buses are replacing noisy diesel fleets with smooth, silent, zero-emission transport. BYD's buses have helped cut an estimated 11 million tons of CO2 emissions, the equivalent of planting hundreds of millions of trees. Their secret? The same strategy used for their cars: vertical integration and scale. These buses run on Blade battery tech, making them durable, efficient, and cheaper to maintain. Fleet operators love the savings. Passengers enjoy a quieter, smoother ride. Cities see cleaner air and lower noise pollution. In the Netherlands, BYD delivered 200 buses to major public routes. In Colombia, they're helping Bogotá transition to an all-electric bus fleet. U.S. school districts and transit agencies are also jumping on board. Even London's classic red double-decker now comes in a BYD electric version. Beyond just vehicles, BYD supports cities with full infrastructure solutions, including software, charging depots, and training. Cars might grab headlines, but buses deliver real change at scale. Cars change lives, said a BYD executive, but buses change cities. Can anyone catch up to BYD now? The race for EV dominance, and why BYD is winning. In 2020, every automaker is chasing the same dream: a scalable, affordable global EV platform. Most are spending billions. Many are failing quietly. And one company, BYD, has already built it. So what gives BYD its edge? Vertical integration. BYD doesn't just build cars, they make everything in-house: the battery, the motor, the software, the screen, the semiconductors, the chassis, even the lithium. Their mine comes from BYD-owned operations. This gives them cost control, speed, and quality assurance unmatched in the industry. They're not chasing trends, one consultant said. They're defining them. This strategy means that when supply chain shortages hit in 2023, BYD barely flinched. While competitors delayed models, BYD rolled them out ahead of schedule. That's how they grew from 100,000 EVs in 2018 to 1.7 million in 2024. But it's not all smooth sailing. BYD still faces hurdles, including global trust. While China has long dominated manufacturing, global consumers, especially in Western countries, are still building comfort with Chinese brands. There's also the pricing protest movement within China itself, where local buyers have begun pushing back on rapid price drops, fearing that new cars will devalue quickly. And internationally, BYD must navigate regulatory politics, especially in the US and EU, where concerns over data privacy, trade imbalances, and IP rights run high. Still, these challenges seem small compared to BYD's momentum. They're not relying on hype. They're not making promises years out. They're shipping, and they're improving every quarter. The real question isn't can anyone catch up? It's how far ahead is BYD already? From the streets of Sao Paulo to the freeways of Bangkok, the Seagull and its siblings are everywhere. The world's most overlooked automaker is now its most important one, and they're just getting started. BYD doesn't wait, said a former Tesla executive. They build. The $4,090 BYD Seagull isn't just making headlines, it's making history. Affordable, efficient, and unexpectedly refined, it proves that going electric doesn't have to mean going broke. While rivals scramble to respond, BYD is already delivering. So whether you're an EV enthusiast or just curious about the future of cars, keep your eyes on this little wonder. Because sometimes big change comes in small packages. If this story surprised you, imagine what's coming next. Subscribe for more insights as we follow the EV revolution, one quiet, affordable, game-changing mile at a time.